All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us here today. Joining me here today. I'm Mr. Soundoff. Thank you for joining me here for our Week 3 NFL predictions. All right, our picks for this week's upcoming games. We got some great matchups this weekend, starting with tonight's game with the Patriots visiting the Jets. Be Aaron Rodgers' first game back in New York since that game, right? The game is his one and only game from last year. Hopefully, it goes much better for him than last year did. Obviously, in that one game that he got to play there, for he played 4 snaps. But anyways, that's tonight's game on Thursday night, and then obviously a bunch of great matchups here on Sunday, and then we got 2 Monday night games. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and kick this off here pretty quickly and run through my picks for Week 3 of the NFL season. All right. For tonight's game, though, like I talked about before, the Patriots visiting the Jets. I do have the Jets in that game over the New England Patriots. Patriots have actually been a bit of a surprise, not like they're world beaters or anything like that, but they're not looking like they're going to be the worst team in the NFL. Not necessarily like I really thought that. I just know a lot of people have said that around the league. I think Jacoby Brissett's an underrated QB. The Patriots are a smart franchise that doesn't make mistakes and plays good defense. So if you have a decent, or even below average QB, good defense, not making mistakes, not turning the ball over, those kind of things there, you're going to be in some games, right? And against some teams, you're going to win those games. I think the Jets, if they're really one of those better teams in the NFL, they should definitely win this game, especially being at home. All right, so I give tonight's game to the Jets. Then we go into this weekend's matchups. Starting off, we got the New York Giants versus the Cleveland Browns. I haven't been a big believer in the Browns this season, but I do take them for sure over what I think is one of the worst teams in the NFL in the Giants. So I'll take the Cleveland Browns in that game there. Then we go Chicago Bears versus the Indianapolis Colts. This game's in Indy. I could see Indianapolis rebounding from that Packers game. Got a lot to prove and everything like that after that game. But I think the Bears, again, what I said at the beginning of the season, I think they have one of the most talented rosters in the NFL. Caleb has struggled through 2 weeks, but now the Colts' best pass rusher, DeForest Buckner, is gone. Right, he's injured, and Anthony Richardson, the quarterback for the Colts, is not looking too good so far through 2 games. I don't think he corrects it versus a very good defense in the Chicago Bears. So I'll go ahead and take the Bears in that matchup over the Colts. Next game, this one's one of the toughest ones to pick, I think, of the week because Minnesota Vikings have been playing well. I thought they would be a pretty good team, actually, when the season started out. I think they've been even better than that. Obviously, I didn't think that they would beat the 49ers, although the 49ers did come in a little banged up in that game. But still, hats off to the Vikings for winning that game. It was in Minnesota. This game's going to be in Minnesota as well. So that will give them that home field advantage. However, I do think the Texans are a better team. Right. So, if they're not so banged up as the 49ers are, I'll go ahead and give this edge here to the Houston Texans this weekend over the Minnesota Vikings. If the Vikings win that game, though, and they go back-to-back after winning the 49ers and the Texans, look for the Vikings to jump tremendously up the power rankings next week. Right. Next game after that, we have the Eagles versus the Saints. Eagles come in minus A.J. Brown. It looks like he's still going to be out for this game here. Questions on defense. I think Hurts looked pretty good in that game the other day. Maybe some poor clock management. I don't know if I can really even fault the coach for that call towards the end of that game. Saquon Barkley, you're probably your best player on the team, right? Catches that ball 99 times out of 100. He's wide open to catch that ball and win you the game. It looks like as a coach, you put your team in the best position to win that game, right? Players have to go out there and perform. So, that means the Eagles will be 2-0 going in against another 2-0 team in the Saints. However, the Saints have been dominating, but against the worst teams in the NFL. No, I shouldn't say that. They dominated versus the Panthers, and then the surprise one was they absolutely crushed the Cowboys. All right, so not one of the worst teams in the NFL, but the Cowboys are known for some having a bunch of great games and having a bunch of like horrible games as well. So this game, I think, is going to be a true barometer for both those teams. I'm going to go ahead and pick the New Orleans Saints. I'm going to go ahead and give them the edge, especially because this game is in New Orleans. All right, so Saints being the Eagles in that one there. Next one here, I'm going to go with the Chargers over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And although the Steelers have been, I guess, as advertised, dominating defense, maybe even a better defense than I thought. Like, how good they've been. Although they haven't been playing great offensive so far, their defense has looked phenomenal. I don't think they've really been tested too much on offense to do a whole lot. I think the Chargers have maybe the best defense they've seen. And I think that the Chargers also have a pretty decent offense. They really don't have any wide receiver threats, though, on that squad. It's going to be about the running game, and they do have a good quarterback in Justin Herbert. So I'm going to go ahead and give this in a pretty low-scoring game to the Chargers over the Pittsburgh Steelers in Pittsburgh. That's one's going to be a black and blue game. That one's going to be tough. Next one here, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Denver Broncos. Broncos have not been looking too good so far. Bo Nix looks like he's reverting back to being a rookie after having a phenomenal preseason. So I'll go ahead and go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that have been looking good, and so should get another win here over a fairly easy opponent. And then the next one after this, my Green Bay Packers. Shout out, obviously, if you know baseball, wearing my Milwaukee Brewers hat. They just clinched their division spot into the playoffs last night. So congratulations to the Milwaukee Brewers. Just got back from a trip to Minnesota and Milwaukee. Minnesota and Wisconsin, went to Twins games, St. Paul Saints games, Milwaukee Brewers games, visited Lambeau Field, all those kind of things there. Fantastic trip. Check out those stadiums, check out those towns, those cities if you've never had before. But this one here is going to go to my Green Bay Packers over the Tennessee Titans. And this could be interesting if Jordan Love does not play. Right now, he's actually been been practicing with the team last couple days, so he's kind of trending that way. I know originally they were saying 4 to 6 weeks, then it went to kind of like 3 to 5 weeks out for Jordan Love. This would only be 1 week out if he's able to play in this game, so that's pretty incredible. If not, though, Tennessee Titans don't have it's not like the Titans are a great team anyways. Malik Willis would go right back to the team he was just cut from a few weeks ago. And, that's a tough test for Malik. Any backup quarterback who's only been with the team for a few weeks. A wonderful job of coaching by Matt Fleur last week in that Packers win over the Colts. I think the Tennessee Titans do have a better defense than the Colts do right now, though. So, that would be a tough one if Malik Willis is the starting quarterback for the Packers. And that game is in Tennessee. I think I would give the edge again to LaFleur and the Packers either way, though. If Malik Willis or Jordan Love plays in that game, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Packers to win that game over the Tennessee Titans. Next one after that, it's Carolina at Las Vegas. I actually give Carolina Panthers a better chance to win with Andy Dalton over Bryce Young, but not good enough of a chance to win against the Raiders. Even though the Raiders are not world beaters again themselves, this game is in Las Vegas. Like I've been saying for quite a while, I think Gardner Minshew is also underrated as well. That defense looks legit. If that defense is able to do its thing versus the Panthers, well, how many points a game are the Panthers scoring so far this season? The Raiders might have to only score 10 points in that game to win. Right? I think they could do. I think they could score more than that in that game to win because the Panthers' defense also looks bad. So I think that's one of your easy pick'em games right there. Is the Raiders over the Panthers. Next one, Seattle Seahawks over the Miami Dolphins, and this one here, Miami visiting Seattle. I probably would have gone with Seattle no matter what. The way Seattle's been looking so far early on in the season, and the fact that it's in Seattle. Miami's got to do that long trip. Miami's not a great road team. Seattle has that big home field advantage over a lot of teams, and obviously Miami is without Tua for this game, so I think that's an easy call there for the Seahawks to win that one. A fun one here to watch, I think this one's going to be a fun one to watch, is the Detroit Lions at the Arizona Cardinals. Now, if this game was in Detroit, I think I would go with Detroit, but this game is going to be in Arizona. I think Arizona is a sneaky good team. If their defense can come along to play this season, they're going to win quite a bit more games than people realize. I think their offense is going to be, if not a top 5, a top 8, a top 10, offense in the NFL. So they're good enough to score points with anybody. And I think the difference here is the game, it being in Arizona. I'm going to go ahead and give the edge to the Cardinals. Next one here, we got Baltimore at Dallas. Now, Baltimore's 0-2, and they need this game tremendously. But Dallas is normally a phenomenal home field team. Right? They normally have a fantastic record at home in the NFL, besides last week and besides versus the Packers in the playoffs last year. But I think that the Cowboys do a good job of coming back after a loss. They generally don't have streaks where they're accumulating back-to-back losses, streaks, 3-4 losses in a row, that kind of thing there. So I think the fact that it's another game at home, coming off of a loss, I think Dallas is going to win this game over the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens are going to be 0-3, and look out for, the words about Lamar and Harbaugh and their offensive coordinator and all those kind of things there in Baltimore after they're 0-3 this week here. San Francisco 49ers, I think they bounce back on the road versus the LA Rams. Rams are decimated, beat up. I thought they were a middle of the pack team to beginning of this season. Possibly a team that could make the playoffs. But maybe a wild card team to the 15th, 20th best team in the NFL, kind of middle road team. And now all of a sudden they're out. Wide receivers, they're out like most of their offensive line. I think both their tackles are actually coming back for this game. A bunch of defensive players. I said them missing Aaron Donald is going to be way bigger than anyone realized, though. And they're facing the San Francisco 49ers that I still believe are absolutely one of the best teams in the NFL, and they're going to be coming in hungry after they just lost the Minnesota Vikings. So I think the 49ers go ahead and win that game. The next one here, this one was a tough one for me. I almost went with the Falcons to win this game. I do believe in the Falcons this season. I think that as the season gets rolling, they're going to get better and better. You're going to see them start cooking more and more throughout this year. I think their defense is actually going to be underrated for them. I think they're going to actually have a pretty decent defense. I think Cousins is going to be getting better and better coming off that injury throughout the season as it goes along. You saw that drive that he had in the fourth quarter at the end of the game there to beat the Eagles. So they're going to be a tough opponent for a lot of teams, and I think they're going to be a playoff team. I think they're going to win the NFC South there, but they are not going to win this game. This is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs coming in a little too hot. I do worry they're missing Pacheco, though. That could give the edge to the Falcons here. I think, again, if this game was in Atlanta with the Chiefs missing Pacheco and 6 more weeks from now, I would probably give this edge to the Falcons. Right now, I think the Chiefs are still playing too well and the Falcons not fully clicking, so I'll go ahead and give this one to the Chiefs. On the Monday night games, we have 2 of them this week. We have the first one of the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Buffalo Bills. Jaguars haven't won a game, since Thanksgiving of last year. They continue to do it that way this year. They continue to, pull defeat from the jaws of victory in some games, and in other games just not play well the entire game, right? Buffalo Bills have been looking good. I still think they're maybe not playing against top-tier talent to see exactly what the Buffalo Bills are going to be like this season, but I do believe they are a playoff team. I do think they're going to be vying with the Jets to be winning that AFC East. So they're still a really good quality team. And, if their running game continues to be really good, if their defense is a little bit better than what I thought it was, they're going to be a solid team all year long. Maybe an even better team than I thought they were all year long. They're going to win this game versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, definitely, because it's at home as well. And then the last game, the other Monday night game, would be the Washington Commanders versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Good job, Joe Burrow, coming back, having a good game versus the Chiefs there. I know they play them tough all the time, but they look tremendously better than they did in that first game. We had injury concerns about Burrow. Jamar Chase coming back after not practicing all offseason. T. Higgins not being there. T looks like he still might not be there for this game, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think Hendrickson on the defense is a stud. I think the defense is good enough. I think offensively, even without T. Higgins there, Joe Burrow and Chase. It looks like they do have a pretty decent running game. Some new receivers, tight ends, and everything like that as well. Gesicki as well, helping out the receiving game is good enough for that team to win, especially against the Commanders, right? So I'll take the Bengals to win in that game. If you're doing one of those picks, price pick'ems and everything like that for the week, a lot of those picks have the final score for the 2 Monday night games combined. I have it kind of low scoring. I don't think the Jaguars are going to put up a whole lot of points. I don't think the Commanders are going to put up a whole lot of points, and I don't think the Bengals are going to really have to put up a whole lot of points. So I'm going to maybe go a little lower scoring on this. Not too low though, but I have a combined total for the Monday night games of 88 points. Between both of the Monday night games. So, anyways, I'll have you guys can see there the picks that we have for this weekend's game, starting with tonight's game. Hopefully, you guys have some good luck here with your picks throughout the weekend and all your fantasy squads, everything like that. There, come back next week, see our power rankings, see our picks next week for week 4. And if you haven't already, please click on the like and subscribe button. And I'm Mr. Soundoff signing off. I will see you guys next time.